Minutes each, and we'll just go left to right. So Lisa.
Right. All right. I have served on the board for 6 years. Some of my accomplishments, our second grade reading rates have seen great improvement. We talked about the graduation rates. Our graduation rates in Leander ISD are now 96.4% for our general population and 94.6% for our eco-dis. There was like a huge spread at the beginning, and that's a really good result. I think we are moving forward with trying to work through our debt. This is probably at this particular point in time where we've reached a point where we've got a board who is divided on how to move forward on that. We have brought a new financial advisor on board. We have brought a new CFO on board who is familiar with the kinds of bonds that we're using. We're kind of at a precipice right now with reaching a solution. And I think the fact that this has been something that there is something about experience on a board, and there is something about being familiar with the issues and the conversations that we've had that will help us work through that more quickly. I think I'm the right person to keep for the job, for moving that forward. I have a heart for our children. I believe in the future of this community. My kids are still in this school district. My grandson's starting this school district. When I moved here, I didn't move here to come in and put my kids in school and then move out of this community. I moved here to make this my home. And my grandkids live here, my children live here. I'm committed to the future of the school district. And I think we have some issues that we are in the process of working through that I'm just the best positioned person to continue working through those because of the familiarity with them. I've got a lot of training that we go through, annual training. I'm a Texas Fellow with the Center for Reform of School Systems. We do trainings with the National School Board Association, the Texas Association of School Boards, TASB, and TEA Education Service Centers. There's a really huge learning curve when you come onto the school board, and I feel that I am now a seasoned board member, and that we've got some serious issues that we're in the midst of addressing. And I think changing out somebody who has worked this hard to push on these financial issues when we're finally getting the results that we want to get, I really would like the opportunity to continue working through those for you.
Make sure I don't go over time. I have my comments too written down. But I want to say, my opponent's going to get to argue for her experience, and I think that's fine. That's her right. She gets to talk about that. And then I'm going to tell you, I'm going to offer a fresh perspective, right? I'm going to say, she's been there for 6 years. She's going to say, that's good for me. I'm going to say, no, you want fresh perspective. You need somebody to look at how we're going to move things forward. Because we haven't grown as much as we need to recently. Times have changed. We are a fast-growing district, and tonight proves the need for addressing some really big issues, such as transparent communications, input of your citizens, safety and security of our students, and what educational opportunities we can put forth. I think you're going to find both my opponent and I, we both are going to care about the kids. We both have a heart. We both want to serve. The difference between the two of us, when you get down to it, is what are we going to do when we get there? What do we do in those places? So as you're going through your thoughts and you're like, what do I do? I'd like to encourage you to go visit my website. Come speak to me afterwards. I'll have information available for you if you want it. I am a parent of 2 kids who are currently in the district right now. I am invested. I filed on the very first day, so you knew I had no hesitation. I am jumping in both feet. I'm ready to go. I've been involved in the community from Williamson County to Travis County, Cedar Park, Leander to the 4 Points area, doing community service and reaching out and realizing I can do more for my community and I can make it stronger. I think 8 years, actually now over 8 years, in communications, corporate communications, makes me a very strong candidate for this position because that's what we need in this place right now. And we're not talking about me joining a board full of freshman members. They all have experiences. They're just 2 positions up. We still have other members on there that can help counterbalance. But what we are talking is about me being a member who's had experience watching Texas legislation for hours and hours, watching State Board of Education, the Texas Education Agency, reading through policy and realizing how that's going to impact our district. Because regardless if we like it or not, we do not live in a vacuum. We live in a community where we have state, federal, local decisions impacting us. And we need to be active and involved in those. So I guess maybe what I'm asking for is y'all to go look, to consider the candidates that are before you, and I'm asking for your vote. I'm Trish Bodie. I'm running for the Leander ISD Board of Trustees, Place 1, and I'm asking my Lion Slayers out there to vote for me.
Thank you. Don?
Well, as I said, I've been on the board close to 20 years now. I have a lot of experience. I have a lot of leadership capabilities and knowledge. And mine's always been about the academic side of it. And listening to the community is what we're elected as representatives of this community to listen to them and then do the things that they want us to do. And I've done that. I've done it for a long time. I've been able to do it because I don't work full time, so I can spend a lot of time in that arena. We've made, as Lisa said, we've made a lot of changes from the financial standpoint. I think we're well on track to move forward with that. We've got a retreat coming up on Monday night. It's open to the public if they want to come. Our new CFO is a very intelligent guy. He's a CPA, trained CPA, and he's got a lot of great ideas, and he's able to look at these numbers and tell you exactly what's going on. So from the standpoint of our debt, I think we're well on our way to put that behind us. So I don't think if that's an issue, it's going to become a non-issue over time. I'm all for making changes when the public wants it. I don't have a problem with that at all. Whether we do board meetings one way or another, I'm okay with it. You know, that's not a big issue with me. I try to work with other board members on a consensus basis. I've always done that. Instead of trying to reach out by myself, I usually will work consensus with, you know, one or two other board members to see kind of where we need to go with things. So from a standpoint of experience, knowledge, how we got to where we're at, I think the right vote would be for Don Heisel.
Don?
Ready, Mr. Timekeeper? Okay, so I've served in many capacities, both in the school district and in the city. I understand government, especially local government, because that's all I've done for 26 years. That's been my entire career. I know a lot of different ways to do things. One of the best things that we figured out how to do at the city council in Cedar Park was learn how to disagree with each other agreeably. You know, you can have disagreements about policy and you don't knife each other in the back, you don't go, you know, badmouth each other around the community. And we really bloomed as a community when we learned how to do that. So that's something that I'm committed to no matter where I serve. I really like to go to the board retreat on Monday night, but I'm serving on the city's bond task force. I'm chairing it, and we have a meeting scheduled for Monday. So I'm going to miss it. I'd like to watch the meeting. I'm going to have to resort to just listening to it, flipping through the materials. The district has made some significant decisions that affect all of us. Just to give you some perspective, of all the school districts in the state that have issued cabs, we've issued 24.43% of them. No other district is anywhere close to that. It's 24%. It was $700 million of original issue. We still owe $600 million of cabs. The way those things work, and as my opponent said, we have $1.1 billion in par value. That's how much they issued. They actually owe $1.5 million today because $400 million of interest has accrued and accreted and become principal on that debt. Now, I don't find that an acceptable way to handle the people's money. It's a board of trustees. You entrust us with your children and your money and ultimately the future of the country. And it's problematic to me that you would think it's okay to, at a minimum, accrete $400 million of additional debt so you can build schools on the schedule that you've got it set in your mind to build. we always did things outside the box on the city council. I mean, we have an arena with a hockey team in it. Who would have thought that that would make sense in Austin, Texas? And it failed 3 different times before we got it right. And we got it right by thinking completely outside the box. It's a great asset for the community. There's lots of cool shows there. My grandson wants to be a hockey player when he grows up. So it's a great asset. But it's something that nobody in their right mind, I poo-pooed it when the people first brought it up, that we need to have an arena. I said, that's ridiculous. I think I was quoted in the papers saying, we're a wasteland, why would anybody come here to see it? So it was one of my great comments in public. I think ultimately, if I'm on the school board, I'm going to communicate a lot more in the meetings. I'm going to engage everybody in discussion. I'm going to force them to communicate interactively with the public when the public is there, and not just have the public speak at you and then they go home and take care of their kids, and then we talk about the stuff they talked about. That's just not an effective way to govern. That's not a way to comport with the public trust, I don't think. And so my career has been spent in local government. I've seen almost everything that can happen all over the state. And I would love an opportunity to help the school district move forward, because it is a great asset for the community and needs to be successful. And I think it needs help to get there.
Thank you. I think if the forum is over, we should give all the candidates a round of applause. Thank you everyone for coming, and I believe they will have time to answer questions now, one-on-one. Thank you.